Aliir's journey from Kenya to the SCG is an inspiration to the football world. He first arrived in Sydney as a child, spending time in Newcastle, Brisbane and Perth. Then he was drafted to the Swans and, in doing so, fulfilled a dream his late father had for him when he was just a little boy.
So you get through your junior days, you learn the craft a little better, you end up in Perth, and then you get drafted to the Sydney Swans. What was your mum's reaction that day?
Tears of joy. Me and my two brothers were watching the draft. Mum was inside the kitchen, so we had the lounge here, the kitchen out there, and she was cooking. And we were sitting down, and then, you hear players that you played with get picked up, Patrick Cripps, Dom Sheed. I was like, oh, this is not going to happen. I probably won't get picked up. Because I missed out on the draft the year before that. And then pick 44, my brother goes, oh, you're going to the Swans, you're going to the Swans. I was like, oh, no. Yeah, nah, look, you're going to the Swans. I looked, and then I was like, nah, it's not me. And he just jumped on me. He's like, oh, you're going to the Swans. He goes, Mum, come here. He's got, he's going to the Swans. He got picked up, and I just see my mum's face. Like, she was just so happy. She was like, had tears of joy, and she said, this is what your dad always said. And, you were so active. My son's going to play sport one day.
Ty Cannelli, who's obviously the backline coach, tells me that he often uses that to spur you on in games.
You might have a patch where you're struggling, you're not moving well, and he'll come up to me and goes, come on, like, remember your purpose, remember why you're doing what you're doing. And all of a sudden, it just clicks to your head. And because we're very close, and his story and my story are similar,
A few of the boys told me in 2016 you stood in front of the group and shared your story. They said that the boys were in tears with you talking about it. Do you remember that moment?
I do. I think it was before the final series started in 2016. I guess that was the first time I really felt a part of the whole team. I was able to share my story, really open up to them and let them know what I'd really been through.
You felt understood?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, I did, yeah.
So you're playing great footy, you're in the 22, the boys make it into the grand final. Tell me about the moment that you realised your knee injury was going to rule you out of the grand final, that training session.
The doctor said, yeah, you've done your medial, but, we'll do a couple of things to try and help it. So we were getting my blood out, putting it in the medial just to try and help it stick. I had the main training on Wednesday, and everything was feeling good. I was moving all right, and then I went outside on the track, and I think there was one movement where I picked up the ground ball and just turned, and I just hit, I think it just opened up a bit more, and then from that moment, I was like, oh, damn, that's me done. And I remember walking to one of the pockets. I was in tears, just walking there, and then Halls come up, just tapping on the back. Players just stopped what they were doing, and they come up and just shook my hand. And I was sitting on the boundary, and I was just hands to my eyes, and then just crying, this just happened. I feel fully devastated. I'm not gonna play a grand final. And then I remember Alex Johnson coming up, and he just sat next to me and just had his arm around me. Didn't say anything. Just had his arm around me, and yeah, it's hard to put into words, to be honest. But yeah, that's just what happened. I was just devastated.
Your footy journey has taken a few turns already. What about the day the Prime Minister called you?
That's, yeah. I think I was playing Call of Duty. One of the guys who worked at the AFL Multicultural just said, oh, just keep your phone next to you, someone important's gonna call you. And I'm like, is he gonna try to prank me later or what it is? Anyway, I was playing, got a phone call, and I picked it up, and then goes, g'day, Liz, Malcolm Turnbull here. What are you doing? And I was like, I think because the boys usually prank a lot of people, a couple of first-year players, this and that, so I thought it was the boys trying to prank. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Didn't he tell you I was calling? I was like, no. And he just sort of said that he was going to use my story of the year round and just sort of speak about me, and I honestly couldn't believe it, to be honest. I was a bit shocked.
Your friendship with Majak Daw, when I asked Majak about you and said that I was going to interview you, he just told me how proud he was of you. Is that nice to hear?
It's nice to hear. It is. Because, yeah, he probably doesn't realise how, what he's done for us. Not just myself and the other kids that got drafted, but the whole of Sudanese community. Because for someone to make it to the top level, that just drives other kids to want to get to that level. I try and tell them as much as I can. I was like, man, I'm in the position I am because of you. If you didn't get picked up, no one would have looked at us, man. you know, a kid from a different country to make it to the top level, that made recruiters want to look at other African and multicolored kids. So he doesn't know how, you know, how big a part he's played in, I guess, my life, my beauty Chol's life, you know. The guys that are coming through now and everything that I'm doing, it's, you know, you made it happen for us.
He changed the game.
He did. They definitely changed the game.
How did everything that he went through impact you? Because I know that you wanted to be there for his VFL comeback game to show your support.
Yeah, because when everything all happened, I was over in Bali, so and you almost feel like man, like I've let a mate down here, like, you know, like what could I've done, you know, this and that, and being in a different country, like I still remember like my mates the next day, I was just sort of blanked a bit, and yeah, I think it was just a tough moment, and I felt like I couldn't really do anything, and it just timed out perfectly when he was making his comeback, because we were playing Essendon, like he was playing the next day, Sunday, and I was like, oh, beautiful, I'm staying back, I got to come watch this. I just got to come show the support to my mate here. And
did you get to give him a hug?
I did. Yeah, he was just so smart, just that big smile on his face.
You've got a talented family. Thom Maker, NBA star, is your cousin, is that right?
Yeah, might be younger than me, but I still look up to him, and he gives me advice and things like that. So it's good to see him doing well, and I think he got traded to Detroit now, so hopefully he has a good year, but I don't know if I can support the Detroit yet, so I'll probably, well, I won't tell him that, but yeah.
He's done some amazing things, but one thing that stands out, I think, to a lot of basketball fans is that brawl against the Philippines.
We were just so shocked. Like, we all just stood up and we were just watching. It was like, oh, what's going on here? Like, you know, how many punches are going to be thrown? And then it just went from like a little scrabble to like a massive one. And I still got a video of Thom just fresh airing, kicking this bloke, because yeah, this little Filipino bloke who was trying to hit him in the head, and he just turned around and a bit of karate kick. But I didn't know what to say. I was just shocked. I just looked at my mate. I was like, is this actually happening? Like, this is a massive brawl happening. Like, someone could seriously get hurt here. But in a way, it was funny because they were throwing punches, but none of them were connecting. I think that was the funny side of the thing.
You say you always like to remember your culture and where you came from. Will you give us some Dinka? Maybe describe John Longmire in Dinka?
Describe John Longmire in Dinka. I can't even picture the word to describe it in English, and let alone in my native tongue.
We can start with horse.
Horse. Akaja. That's what you call a horse in English.
Akaja?
Akaja. Yen John, club alert, yen Madi. Ajabetan, Ahmed. Where, you know, yen Ayub, Kreben Eloy, Mamdi Leftan. The man, Alabalue, Kalangayan, yen a chit babidi. I think then. So, we go alert, yen, a Tanya coin. Kidina low time, can quite the buy. Yalla koi rate and Australia like a man.
What'd you go with?
All right. With me not having my mother's here, I've been here since I was 19, and I guess I can say he's that of a father figure. I've been here for 6 years, and I guess he's been my only coach, and yeah, I'd probably say my mum would be proud to have someone like him look after me, I guess.
That's a beautiful way to finish this. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me.